In June 2013, I asked you what you thought of Korea. And during the month of August, I've been releasing videos about my Korea using your words of inspiration. South Korea is a very passionate nation, and it can be seen in the enormous following several idol groups have, or the way individuals approach leisure activities such as hiking. But for me, the definition of passion and the defining experience during my tenure here in South Korea has got to be the 2010 World Cup. I went to go see a match at City Hall. I sat down on the lawn with 90,000 others. We were all wearing red. We all watched on the jumbo monitor as South Korea performed. During the match, with each score, we rose up and cheered. It was a unifying force, and that for me defines passion in South Korea. Another word that was widely used to describe South Korean people was welcoming. Perhaps it's the ubiquitous "어서오세요" or welcoming that's chanted when people enter a place of business. But for me, it really dates back to my first week in South Korea. I didn't have the internet in my apartment, so every morning I would take a cup of coffee and go out to our town square. There was a local coffee shop that wasn't open until later in the day, but they had an unsecured wireless network. So I'd sit down and communicate with my family back in the United States. During that first week, my friend Kim Si-in came up to me and introduced himself. He knew I was new to Korea and wanted to make me feel welcome. So after exchanging pleasantries, he went into a nearby convenience store and bought ramen, soft drinks, snacks, just about everything you could ever want in a welcome basket. And then he gave it to me. He also invited me to dinner that night, and to this day, we're still friends. The final word to describe the Korean people really wasn't one that was actually suggested. It came about in a roundabout way where people were talking about family, love, connectedness. And for me, the one Korean word that really brings all that together is jung. Now, many people will say that there's no direct English translation to the word jung, that it's a cultural identity, a cultural phenomenon about love towards one society. And I have to disagree with that. Being someone who grew up in the American South, I was very close with everyone around me. We would sit out on our front porches and mingle together, much in the way that people still gather today here in Korea. If someone was having problems, we would work together as a community to see that they were resolved. For me, jung really epitomizes what the concept of being a good neighbor is all about. This concludes the series, My Korea, Your Words, and it's also my final entry on the Korea blog, the official blog of the Korean government. For the past 2.5 years, I've enjoyed the honor of sharing different experiences about Korea with its readership there, and I've hoped you enjoyed it as much as I have.